Hi there, Olive here. Today I'd like to talk about something a little bit controversial. Today I am interested in talking about book hauls and people's feelings towards book hauls, particularly negative ones. Since I've started on BookTube, and even before I started on BookTube, I have heard a lot of criticism of book hauls. I've been thinking about this a lot lately because this is a time of year that I tend to be acquiring a lot of books. This is the bookish season for the publishing industry, and this is also a time of year when there happen to be a lot of library book sales, which I frequent very regularly. So I've been thinking a lot about the feelings people have toward book hauls. Coincidentally enough, there were two videos, I think within the past week, posted about book hauls. One of the videos was from Holly at Library at the Edge of the World, and she was actually inspired by a fairly new booktuber whose name is Amanda from the channel name Amanda Center. I'm going to link both of their videos in the description box below. I encourage you to check both of those videos out. I think they both bring up some pretty interesting points about their own feelings toward book hauls. So just starting off, full disclosure, I like book hauls. I certainly enjoy acquiring books. I enjoy making the book hauls. I enjoy engaging with my subscribers and my viewers in general in the comment sections of my book hauls, discussing the books that I have bought. I enjoy watching book hauls and talking with other booktubers about the books that they have bought. I just like book hauls. I know that a very good portion of people, like myself, do really enjoy book hauls. However, there are people who dislike book hauls or just have problems with book hauls. Some of the reasons why some people dislike book hauls are because they feel like it encourages consumerism. I understand this criticism. I have heard that there are booktube channels that only do hauls. I can't really speak that much to this because I've never seen any. Please, if you know of any, please link them to me in the comment section below. I want to see some of these channels that they're talking about. But from what I understand, the channel is only and exclusively about book hauls. And not only that, but they're not telling you anything about the book when they hold it up. That particular problem that people have with book hauls, I get. However, my book hauls and the book hauls of the booktubers that I watch do tell you something about the book. It is not just holding it up and saying, I bought this because it's pretty. They're telling you something about the book. In my opinion, in a good book haul, there should be three things with each book. The booktuber should show you the book in question, give you a snapshot about what it's about, and tell you why they picked it up, why they're excited to read it, or both. Because that's what I believe book haul videos should be about, that is how I do my book haul videos. In fact, I put a lot of effort into my last haul to make sure that I was giving a proper snapshot of what that book was about. I showed almost 30 books, but each one of them I was able to give a 5 to 10 second synopsis about what that book was about. I said why I was excited to read them, I said why I picked them up, and I showed them off. That is what I think a good book haul should do. That's the kind of book haul that I want to watch. I am not really an aesthetic kind of girl. I don't pick things up just because they're pretty. I don't watch book hauls just because I think the books are pretty. I want to know what they're about. I think this ties in nicely to the frustration that some booktubers feel who want to focus on reviews, that their book hauls get such an enormous amount of attention, whereas their reviews don't get quite as much, usually. I understand how that could be really frustrating. Book reviews, in general, at least on the surface level, require more effort than a book haul does. It takes a whole lot less effort to hold up a book and say, I bought this, than it does to have sat down and read the book, had thoughts on the book, and then figured out a way to eloquently state those thoughts on YouTube. However, I will say this. I understand why book hauls get more views. For me, watching a book haul is like going book shopping. You're getting to hear about all of these amazing books, you're getting to see them, and you're getting an idea about whether or not you're interested in reading that book. You're hearing about a large quantity of books over a short period of time. So really it is like going to a bookstore and pulling a book off a shelf, reading the back, looking at the cover, and seeing if you're interested. Sometimes when I go book shopping, I just want to browse. I just want to hear about new books. That is a thrill for me to hear about new books. So watching a book haul is getting that thrill for me. It is seeing all these books and seeing that they're pretty, sure, but also seeing if I'm interested in reading them. In a book haul, you're seeing a large amount of books, whereas in a review, you're only seeing one. And typically when I see review videos, I am primarily interested in watching a review video if I am already interested in reading that book or if I have read that book, especially if it contains spoilers. I don't want to watch that review until I have read the book. Because in a book review, you're only talking about one or maybe several if you're talking about a series, it decreases the odds that the viewer is going to be able to connect with that specific video because you're just not talking about as many books. In a book haul, you're casting a pretty wide net. There's the allure of surprise in that you don't know what books the booktuber is going to be holding up unless they've put it in the thumbnail, which I am firmly against. I like to be surprised. So I really don't think that we as booktubers should take it personally when the reviews about one book or maybe just a few books don't get as many views as a book haul. I have heard around BookTube that people feel pressure to continue doing book hauls and that it's part of what makes you a booktuber. I do not agree. Many book hauls does not a good booktuber make. Something that has kind of been an issue I feel like booktubers and people who criticize book hauls are dancing around is the fact that they feel like holding up a book that they have not read is in some way less valuable than holding up a book that they have read, which to me translates into this book that I have not read is less valuable than one that I have read. People seem to have a lot of feelings of guilt about books that they have not read yet. When they hold it up, they feel guilty that they're showing it to you because they have not read it. For them, it does not have the value of holding up a book that they have read that they can actually talk about. Now, I do think it's important to have read some books to have a booktube channel and to hold up books that you've read and that you can have an intelligent discussion about. However, I do not believe that a book that has been read by you has more value than a book that has not. For me, an unread book is a giant question mark. It is a giant possibility. It is like Schrodinger's cat. I don't know what's in there. I could hate it, but I could also love it. And to me, that unknown, that possibility is so exciting. I don't keep many read books on my shelves. Unless I want to reread it or lend it out, it goes. I prefer having my bookshelf full of unread books because I like looking at my shelves and saying, these are all possibilities for me. I am going to read these sometime in the future. I do not feel guilty if they're sitting on my shelf. If it's not the right time for me to read them, if I'd rather read a library book instead, then that's what I'm going to do. But I love seeing my shelves full of books that I have not read because those are all experiences that I'm going to get to have in the very near future, and it is so exciting thinking about that. It's like looking at a travel postcard saying, I'm going to go there someday. These are more than just things to be done, things to be accomplished, things that I have not done yet. These books mean something to me. They meant something to me, and so I bought them. I picked them up. I put them on my shelf. Having them around is comforting. They're beautiful to look at. They make me feel less alone. Books are amazing because they can be collectible, but then they also provide you with insight. There's so much within a book. It's not just a pretty thing. It can be just a pretty thing. If you want just a pretty shelf, you can have just a pretty shelf. My books are banged and beat up and from everywhere, have writing in them from other people, have writing in them from me, and I love them for it. I think we all need to ease up a little bit on making other people feel guilty or making ourselves feel guilty for purchasing books. That is that person's money, just like these books were bought with my money. They can do with it what they choose to. I am certainly going to do whatever I want to do with the money that I earn. If buying that book makes the person feel good, if they want to read it at some point, or if just having it on their shelf is going to provide them comfort, then I don't see the problem. So those are just some of my very disorganized opinions about book hauls. Please let me know what you think. If you agree or disagree with me, I'd love to have a discussion with you. If there's anything you think I left out, please let me know. I think this is a very interesting topic. I'm very excited to continue to hear what people have to say about it. If you'd like to find me elsewhere on social media, I'm on both Twitter and Instagram, both places at abookolive. I also have a Goodreads if you'd like to be friends. Thanks for watching. Buy books if you want to. Don't buy books if you don't want to. Show them off if you want to. Don't show them off if you don't want to. Basically, do what makes you happy. Sound good? All right, I'll talk to you later.